Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a 212A, it's a Tier 9 Soviet SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Overlord and it's under the command of Running Hawk. And I'm afraid in this video you're going to see some trolling by an EBR. The game started and you can see there are two Arty on this team. There's an M53, M55 and he's alongside us, but both Artys are going to get trolled, and because of this they can't play properly for the whole of the battle. And so we're going to stay in third person mode so you can see exactly what goes on. And the troll, well, he's the EBR as I said, and he's over there at the moment, LeonsTank, just over in the distance. And you can see that both Artys have decided to actually go over to the middle west side of the map, near the chines going down to the beach. I think that's what you call these outlets that go to the beach, chines. Well, both Artys are firing at the enemy, but both Artys are going to get trolled. And here comes the EBR. He's over on the east side of the map at the moment. He's doing his job, but not for much longer. Okay, both Artys are relocating as they're supposed to. As you can see, the EBR, well, it keeps moving about on the east side, and you can see that Running Hawk and the M53-55 are both getting damage on the enemy, so they're doing their job properly. They're not focusing on the east side of the map at the moment, that's true. And I guess that the EBR is probably wondering why he's not picking up any stun assist or damage assist by spotting the enemy. And here he comes. He's coming over now. And what he starts doing is he starts shooting at both Artys. That's why we're going to say in third person mode so you can exactly see how he trolls them. Thanks to the changes on 1.6, of course, shooting an Arty or barrel blocking no longer works. But that doesn't stop somebody from abusing physics, and Wargaming did warn people about this, and we warned Wargaming that it would happen, that people would start abusing physics. And here you can see that the EBR's directly run into Running Hawk's vehicle and nudged him off his aim. So he can't aim accurately, and now he's pushing the rear of that M53, M55, and again upsetting the aim. And of course they can't play if they're being moved about all the time. There, the EBR's now fired on the 212A to no effect, and the M53, 55 got so upset that he actually fired at and stunned the EBR. And now the other players are getting involved as well. The Yak Panther knows what's going on, and he's upset as well because he knows full well that they can't get any Arty support if that EBR keeps trying to troll them. So this is exactly what Wargaming mentioned, somebody who's abusing physics to try and put other people off their game. And this is deliberately against Wargaming's rules. So it's LeonsTank is the offender, and the other players are getting very upset about this. And I think the M53-55 tried to get rid of the EBR then by ramming him. He shouldn't really try to do that actually. I know he's upset and offended, but to be honest, the best thing to do is to report people like this to Wargaming and allow Wargaming to remove them from the game. Give them a serious ban, tell them to behave. But no, he doesn't want to give up this EBR. He's still ramming. And now Running Hawk's got so upset he's stunned the EBR, but his shell detonated so close to his vehicle it actually killed his driver. Again, I'd say try not to respond to people like this. Just, if they keep doing it, send in the video, send in the replay, let Wargaming ban them. It's the best thing you can do. Now, so many people are engaged in stopping this trolling that neither Arty is actually able to play the game properly. Two other players are engaged in trying to stop, well, one other player is trying to stop the EBR, and the EBR is not doing his job, and as a result the enemy is about to win because their Object 430's turned up in the rear, and he's now engaging our ISU 152. And this EBR is still mucking about instead of actually doing his job. And he's still firing at his own Arty instead of firing at the enemy. And yet again he fires 2 shells at his own Arty. The Jagdpanther tries to get him engaged. And that shell there came from the enemy 212. And it did do some serious damage to Running Hawk. And I think the Strib's now getting involved. He's very upset about all this. Well, naturally, because obviously he's losing the game. And he knows it. And the EBR was just hit by the enemy. And he's still trying to troll. To no effect. The only effect he's having actually is damaging the game and causing them to lose the game. Well, he won't be alive much longer because there's a Scorpion G on the enemy team approaching from the beach. And any second he's going to come around that corner and, oh, well, there we can see that Running Hawk's been killed by an enemy tank, the Strib 1030, who's currently out of sight, but definitely that was an enemy shot, not his own guys. The Scorpion G's come around the corner and he started firing. And there's now only 2 players left on the team, the Jagdpanther 2 and the Strib 1030. And the Jagdpanther won't be alive for much longer. And neither will that Strib. And the discussion is going on in chat, as you'd expect. Well, it's entirely the EBR's fault. The Jagdpanther would not have been trying to stop the EBR if the EBR had not been trolling both Artys. And this game has ended up a loss with the enemy winning by 5 tanks. So a total waste. So here's the end of battle results, and you can see that yes, it was a defeat and Running Hawk didn't get that many shots on the enemy. You can see he actually did end up mid-table. Even so, with a 212A, you'd expect him to do at least some damage on the enemy, but not much. The highest scorer was the T-34-3, who got 2,141 hit points of damage, and that's Strib 1030, who was actually playing correctly, and he got 2,111. And then also the Jagdpanther 2, despite the fact that he was trying to stop the trolling, he actually did get 3 kills in that game, well, mostly towards the end, 1,886 hit points of damage. But the EBR did absolutely no damage to the enemy whatsoever. No kills. LeonsTank is the name of the offender, and yeah, just 188 XP for turning up. And why did he get that? Because he decided he wasn't going to play the game properly, not according to Wargaming's rules, that instead he was going to try and troll his own teammates and cause them to lose the game. And that's what happened. Well, we can see that Running Hawk fired 7 shots, got 4 direct hits on the enemy, 4 splash, damage of 1,081 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit from the enemy, it was a penetration, and 1 splash from the enemy 212A. He damaged 3 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get 93 hit points of damage assistance and 628 hit points of stun assistance of 3 stuns. He did earn some credits, 20,441, but after repair and ammunition resupply, he actually made a loss for the game of 7,177 credits. He received 400 XP, and that's all he received, I'm afraid. But the game was a total loss because of that EBR. So I go back to him again to show this is a troll. And he should be reported to Wargaming and he should receive a ban. Because if he hadn't done what he did, then neither of the Artys would have felt inclined to shoot him. And they wouldn't have suffered the damage that they did suffer as a result. And they would have been continually fighting with the enemy, or firing at the enemy, and they might have survived that battle. They might have won that battle, but thanks to that EBR, they didn't. So, Wargaming, down to you to ban this player.